Lupita Mañana, Chapter 12. Monday came, and once more Lupita, Salvador, and Aunt Consuelo went out in Fidencio's truck. This time he took them in a different direction, and they harvested zucchini squash. They didn't snap them off by hand, but used metal cutters. By quitting time, Lupita's hands ached as much as before, and her fingers were blistered in new places, a cruel gift of the cutters. She felt better, however, when she got home and caught sight of the little white paper on the table that proved Emilio had sent the letter as he had promised. He had also kept the change from Lupita's $4, but she had expected he might. The next day, Tuesday, was extremely hot, one of those freakish humid days that sometimes strike Indio late in October. No morning breezes cooled Lupita as she labored in the same field as the day before. Perspiration poured off her body, streaming into her eyes, making her long for the water she carried with her in a plastic bottle. Now and then she straightened up to ease her back, wiped the sweat from her eyes with her shirt sleeve, and take a long drink from the bottle. To refocus her eyes, she looked out over the field before she bent once more to cut the deep green vegetables from their vines. Near noon, the sun blazing directly overhead, Lupita rose for yet another drink. Think I'll have a drink. This time, the warm water made her feel sick to her stomach. She gazed out over the field, which shimmered in a haze of smog and heat. Fighting nausea, she looked ahead for Salvador, Aunt Consuelo, and Senor Fidencio. They were stooped over harvesting. Between her and them were the other pickers from Senor Fidencio's truck. Suddenly, Lupita's eyes riveted on the woman nearest her, some 3 rows ahead. The middle-aged pocho was also standing up, her body swaying. As Lupita watched, she put her hand to her chest and sank to her knees, crying out softly. What should she do? Lupita asked herself in a panic. Aunt Consuelo would know. Lupita put down her water bottle and began to run, leaping over the rows. As she passed the sick woman's road, Lupita glanced over and saw that she was bending forward and vomiting. Tia Consuelo, Lupita cried, running. Consuelo heard and looked up, turning around to look about. Lupita ran up, panting and pointing to where the other woman knelt in a row. Elena, it is Elena, Consuelo cried. As she recognized who it was, Lupita said swiftly, I saw her go down. Shall I get the boss? No. Her aunt's voice was firm. Stay away from him and his shed. Go get Fidencio instead. See, while her aunt started toward Elena, Lupita hurried through the rows to Senor Fidencio. He had just filled the box with zucchini and was carrying it to the edge of the field. When he saw Lupita coming, he stopped. Her heart raced and Lupita gasped out, Senor, it's the woman they call Elena. I saw her fall down. I went to Aunt Consuelo and she said to come get you. Elena? Take my box to the end of this row, little one. Lupita did as he ordered, then ran alongside of the field to Elena's row. Her aunt was sitting on the ground and Elena leaned over against her shoulder. The front of Elena's cotton dress was dark with perspiration as she gasped to fill her lungs with air. Senor Fidencio, kneeling beside the 2 women, touched Elena's forehead with his hand, then her heavy bare arms. Elena, your skin is very wet, but you have no fever. Are you dizzy? He asked gently. See, I'm very dizzy and sick to my stomach. I felt so weak I fell down. Then I threw up. He nodded. The sickness that comes with the heat. I have had it myself. It can be very dangerous. The boss will call for an ambulance and take you to the hospital. No, Fidencio. Elena struggled away from Consuelo Ruiz's shoulder, stretching out her hand. She caught his wrist and pleaded, Fidencio, por favor, help me to your truck. I could lie down in the back. I need to sleep for a time. I'll be all right. I've had this before. Do not ask the boss for an ambulance. Tell him I had the flu. Give me some of my water and the salt shaker in my pocket. I think I didn't put in enough salt this morning. Ay de me. Do not let the boss call for the ambulance. La migra could find me, and I have been here so long now. Exhausted, Elena fell back onto Consuelo's shoulder. La migra? Thought Lupita. This woman was a Mexican like herself and as afraid of La migra as she was. Lupita, go back to your row, Fidencio ordered. After we take Senora Elena to the truck, I'll finish her row. Obediently, Lupita went back over the rows and picked up her clippers. Before she began to snip off squash again, she watched Senor Fidencio and Aunt Consuelo help the staggering Elena to the old truck parked a distance away under the lacy pepper trees. Looking away, Lupita sought out her brother. There he was ahead of her, sitting down and harvesting. As she started to work, Lupita wondered how many other harvesters in this field were also wetbacks. How many others were as constantly afraid as she was? Now she had a new fear for Salvador and herself. She was afraid of an illness or an accident that could force them into a hospital.